Davai comrades, it is your boy, Saint Deadeye, and welcome to Ordnance Overview. So, you want to destroy your enemies. You want to destroy very, very many of your enemies over the course of over a century without having to make any changes to the weapon you do it with. Well, be yet, do I have some good news for you. Today's gun is Mosin. Alright, enough of that bit. It's like 100 degrees outside and I'm wearing a Ushanka for a bit on that's been done on YouTube 10,000 times. But yes, welcome to Ordnance Overview. I am Saint Deadeye, and today's gun is none other than the Mosin-Nagant m91 30. The famed garbage rod, as the gun community affectionately refers to it, and we'll get to why that is here in a minute. But let's do what we do here on Ordnance Overview. And let me pull out my notes because I am not an expert. I just know what I know, and I write down what I know to make sure I don't forget to tell you. So, this rifle was invented in 1882 and developed over the course of the years leading up to 1891 by Sergei Mosin, and it is commonly referred to as the Mosin-Nagant. However, Leon Nagant had very little to do with the design of this particular rifle. In fact, this was in trials against Leon Nagant's rifle, and the original Mosin rifle, developed by Sergei Mosin, had some problems of its own that were solved by taking some of the aspects from Leon Nagant's rifle and putting it on this one. However, at the end of the day, Sergei Mosin was awarded the contract, and the Mosin-Nagant nomenclature that is given to this rifle in the West is actually a misnomer, because in Russia it's only known as Mosin's rifle. Invented by, like I said, Sergei Mosin. It was adopted by the Russian military in 1891, and believe it or not, in some roles, especially ceremonial in Russia, it serves until the present day. It serves in military conflicts until the present day. However, it doesn't beat the Lee Enfield for military service life, because it is no longer the official adopted rifle of any established military in the world. Most of the conflicts that these serve in nowadays, they are brought to the battlefront by non-military units like local resistance, insurgents, things of that nature will still to this day bring the Mosin-Nagant m91 30 to the battlefront. However, it is no longer the official rifle of any official military. It is chambered in quite a deadly cartridge, the 7.62 by 54R, R standing for rimmed, and we'll get a close-up of that when I do the close-up of the rifle. That is a mean son of a bitch. This rifle, out of all the guns that I own, this one leaves a print on my shoulder when I shoot it. It is a kicker, but it is an accurate and reliable kicker. Except for when the bolt sticks. After firing several rounds through any Mosin-Nagant rifle, a lot of people will find that it becomes difficult to operate the bolt. It gets stuck in the locked position, and a lot of times, especially, you'll see in the shooting video, the range video that I did with it, you have to kind of smack the bolt up out of battery. But right now, There is no round chambered, and I haven't fired it in 2 weeks, so it's operating quite normally right now. Now, my rifle in particular is a hex receiver and was made in 1926, so I really should have that memorized. It's my rifle. But yeah, you see everything right there. So right here there's actually English on it from it being imported. So M91 30, made in Russia. So this is a Russian Mosin-Nagant. But it was imported to America from Georgia, the country Georgia, not the state Georgia. And that's on here, as well as what it's chambered in and the serial number, on top of all the Russian markings right here that you'll see in the close-up as well. And one of the coolest things about my Mosin-Nagant in particular was that it came with this huge bayonet that I affectionately refer to as the Russian social distance checker, because when you fix the bayonet to the rifle, much like social distancing, it is 6 feet long and invented by communists. Comrade, my Mosin indicates that you are not 6 feet away from me. Social distance at once, or else. So, all jokes aside, let's do what we do here on Ordnance Overview and get a close-up of this thing so I can show you how it works. So, there's really not much to show here when I say show you how it works, but we're going to go over what there is to show you anyway. So, first of all, let's get a close-up, if you can see it in my absolute garbage lighting, of all these Russian markings here. And then if you flip it over to one of the sides of the hex receiver is all the English import markings from Georgia to come to the United States. So, much like pretty much any other bolt-action rifle of its time, to remove the bolt assembly for easy cleaning, you are going to open it, retract it, depress the trigger, and it slides right out. So you take that, spray it down with whatever cleaner you got going on, then wipe it down, lube it, and you can throw it right back in there. And a cool thing that you can do with this, if you don't want to leave it cocked in your gun cabinet, you can retract the bolt all the way, hold the trigger down, and when you close the bolt, it decocks it as you close the handle. So now there's nothing going on here, and your bolt's not cocked, sitting in your gun cabinet. So you got your standard leaf sights here. They ride up on this rail like that for maximum sniping. There's really no need to put that kind of distance. That's almost indirect fire. That'd be like trying to shoot an airplane down or something like that. So let's get a close-up of the 7.62 by 54R cartridge. This is a nasty cartridge. This thing kicks like a mofo. Like I said, this is the only rifle that I have that actually leaves a mark on my shoulder when I shoot it. So that's a big boy. That's a big round. And just for shits and giggles, here's a close-up of the bayonet. This thing's about, I'd say, from where the muzzle of the gun sits to the tip of the bayonet, just the blade itself is about a foot and a half long, let alone the actual fixture piece. So this adds a foot and a half to an already very long gun. I actually did measure it when I made that joke earlier. It is 6 feet long with the bayonet attached. It is an absolute monster. So there you have it, the Mosin-Nagant m91 A short episode of Ordnance Overview today. There's not much to say about this rifle. It's very simple, very crude, but it is a good rifle to start your military surplus collection. They are abundant. They are everywhere. There are thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of them were made. I don't know how many of them are in the U.S., but there's plenty of them out there to the point where you could probably pick one up for anywhere from $200 to $400, depending on its condition and its date of manufacture. Mine only ran me about $200 and came with a bayonet. So if you're looking to get a military surplus collection started, go with a Mosin-Nagant. You can't go wrong. They're fun to shoot, and that's where they really shine, is out on the range. So be on the lookout for that video, the episode of On the Range, featuring the Mosin-Nagant m91 and I'll see you there. I'm Saint Deadeye. Peace out.